Epifanes mono-urethane is a urethane alkyd hybrid paint that delivers a hard wearing finish but gives the same ease of application that you'd expect to get from a traditional yacht enamel. In this video we're going to take a look through the basics that you'll need to know in order to apply it. So this is a single part hard wearing high gloss marine top coat paint. The makeup of this paint delivers a unique blend of properties that give fast drying times and a hard wearing finish once fully cured, yet a brilliant ease of application and great flow out. The sort of properties that you would usually only expect from a traditional oil-based yacht enamel. This paint can be used on a range of substrates including GRP, steel, wood and aluminium. It is suitable for interior and exterior use above the waterline, and it can be applied over both single part and two part existing paint systems as a maintenance coat. So let's take a look at how to apply it. If you have a bare substrate of wood, metal or a poor condition gel coat, then you should first apply a primer. The Epifanes multi-marine primer would be my recommendation for this, but the epoxy and polyurethane primers are also suitable bases on which to apply this paint. Take a look at some of my other quick guide videos for the application of primers to get you up to this stage. If you are applying to a good condition uncracked gel coat surface, then the monourethane paint can be applied directly to the gel coat with no primer needed, providing it is well prepared. Sand your substrate before application of your top coat paint. Whether that is a well-conditioned gel coat, a freshly primed or a previously painted surface, you should sand to a grit of no finer than 220 grit. Once you've sanded the surface, vacuum off any remaining dust and degrease the surface. This can be done with the Epifanes spray thinner, denatured alcohol or methylated spirits. Thin your first top coat at around 5 to 10% by volume. If you are applying by brush or roller, then the Epifanes brush thinner for single part paints would be my recommendation for this. Even if you aren't thinning the paint, it's good practice to decant an amount into a mixing cup, as working directly from the tin is not recommended. Application of this paint can be done by brush, roller or spray. Due to the fantastic flow out properties of this paint, you will see great results with either application method. Here we'll do the first coat with a brush and then the second with a roller. Work in opposing directions to ensure an even film coverage of the paint, and then finish up with a tipping pass that runs from the dry section into the wet, lifting the brush as it exits the surface. Allow the first coat to fully dry. Drying times for this paint are going to be around 18 hours at 25 degrees C or 77 F, 24 hours at 20 degrees C or 68 F, 36 hours at 15 degrees C or 59 F, and 48 hours at 10 degrees C or 50 F. Application below 8 degrees C or 46 F is not recommended. Wet on wet application is also not recommended for this paint, so ensure that it is fully dried before proceeding with the next coat. Once dry, lightly sand the first coat. Do this with 320 grit paper, or if you'd like to only lightly abrade the surface, a Scotch-Brite pad is a good, less aggressive alternative. As before, vacuum off any remaining dust, degrease the surface again, and then you are ready to proceed with coat number 2. Apply coat number 2 in the same way. This time you can use anything from 0 to 5% thinner added. The addition of a little thinner will help with application if you are not so experienced, as it will allow you a little more flow and working time. For this coat I'm going to apply the paint with a roller. These Anza felt rollers are my personal preference for single and two part paint application. Roll out the paint in opposing directions to achieve an even film coverage. Then my number one tip for great paint finishes is leave it alone and allow the flow out magic to happen. 3 top coats are the recommended minimum, and these can all be applied in the same way. Allow the paint to fully dry in between coats. Sand the surface, clean, and then apply the next coat. Application of this paint can also be done with spray. A gravity fed HVLP gun is recommended for application. Thin the paint at 5 to 15% using the Epifanes single part spray thinner. Use a 1.2 to 1.5mm nozzle. Set your pressure at 2 to 3 bar or 29 to 43 psi. And if you're using a ding cup to check the viscosity, this should measure a time of 20 to 22 seconds with a 4mm cup. Apply coats in the same way that you would with a brush or a roller, allowing each coat to fully dry. Sand it lightly to 320 grit, clean, degrease, and then proceed with the following coat. Wet on wet application is not advised for this product. When you get to the application of your final coat, you can sand a little more finely prior to this one. 400 grit is the finest I would recommend, and this will help you to achieve a slightly finer surface on which to build your perfect final coat. Should you wish to create a non-skid surface, the Epifanes mono-urethane top coat will form a water-resistant base over which to apply their non-skid deck coating. Take a look at some of my other quick guide videos for a tutorial on how to apply that. So there we go, a fast drying, high gloss, hybrid single part paint that offers a hard wearing finish, but with the application ease of a traditional yacht enamel. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them or put them to the technical team at Epifanes if I'm not able. Cheers guys, catch you in the next one.